watching. Today I'm talking with Jeremy Vest, a very well-known online video marketer. We're going to talk about video SEO and why it's so important for my new book, Online Video Marketing in 60 Minutes. So Jeremy, if you have a video online and some people are watching it, one of the very important things to do is actually optimize it so search engines can find your video. What are some of the main things that you say you have to do in order to optimize your video?
I think the first thing we need to really address is have a good video. I mean, you can only optimize something so far. The reality is, unless you have good content, it doesn't really matter. Yeah. I mean, no one's gonna stick around, and YouTube recently changed their algorithm to optimize based on time watched. So if you don't have good content, nothing matters. You're not gonna do well on YouTube, and obviously all the other video sites are kind of mimicking what YouTube does eventually.
So tell me a little bit about the new algorithm that YouTube has. How does it exactly work?
So basically they're optimizing saying based on time watched. So if someone only watches 12 seconds of your 4-minute video, YouTube now realizes that it's probably not the video they want to display. But if someone watches 98% of your video, then obviously they're like, this is important, it's engaging enough to keep someone's attention for 4 minutes.
So they'll put those videos over the ones that aren't.
Yes.
Oh, that's
and one of the biggest things to understand about video SEO, especially for YouTube, is non-SEO things are actually more important than SEO things. For example, comments, likes, shares, those actually skyrocket someone to the top of the rankings before amount of views or title tags or anything like that.
Yeah, right. Well, and let's talk a little bit about the title and the tags. And,
sure.
You know, how do you go about actually optimizing those for your videos? I mean, we all know how important it is to have a good title, but how do you know what's really trending on YouTube or Google?
You know, you definitely have to do your keyword research. Go into YouTube and see what comes up on a particular topic. Also make sure that you're showing up for the right words. If you're not showing up for the right words, then people aren't going to share, like, and comment your videos. People aren't going to stick around and you're not going to ever show up. So make sure that you do enough research to understand what search intent is. And what I mean by search intent is when someone goes to Google and they search, they're either looking to buy a pizza or do something, right?
Yeah.
On YouTube, search intent is a lot different. Sometimes people just want to, you know, learn. Sometimes people want to have fun and look at comedy skits and, you know, be silly. So you have to make sure you're actually showing up for the correct. And on the first line of the description, you want to make sure that that's a URL going back to something you want, you know, to them to learn more information on. YouTube is like any other social media platform. You definitely want people to come back to your website, but you definitely want people to find you from social media sites such as Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. So always make sure that you have a lot of ways for people to get back to your website. That's probably one of the most important things.
So would you say in the description itself you would put
Absolutely.
links?
The very first line, the very first word.
That would be your website, your main website, okay.
Or the website landing page that you specifically want them to look up. Also, it's very important to have video XML sitemaps. And what those do is you have that on your website. So instead of YouTube always showing up first on Google search engine results, instead your video could show up with a thumbnail on your site. So people are actually watching your video on your site versus watching it on YouTube.
So an XML site or page, I mean, I'm sure it's pretty technical. It sounds like it would be technical, but could you explain shortly how you would go about creating one of those?
Sure. If you have a WordPress site, it's actually pretty much a click of a button.
Okay.
You can go video XML sitemap or Google video XML sitemap. You can install it and then basically click a button and it's going to auto-generate it. There's also many websites out there that will auto-generate the sitemaps for you on your behalf. So it doesn't have to be complex, but if you're not running WordPress or Joomla, it can be a little complex, but there's a lot of tutorials out there and a lot of explanations.
And you say it's definitely worth it in terms
Absolutely.
of video SEO.
Absolutely, because what it's doing essentially is it's showing search engines where your videos live and that is very important so Google doesn't have to guess.
Right, yeah. And how about tags? We need to have at least 10 tags? That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, it's really strange. This is actually a tip I learned recently from a big YouTube company. And even though they disabled tags, they don't actually display anymore as of a few weeks ago. They actually recommend you have 10 to 14 tags. That way, I mean, if you really think about what YouTube is, it's just a big filing cabinet of videos. So the more specific you can get on tags, the more YouTube actually knows what kind of video to display.
So I know I try to do a lot of different playlists and try to get my videos in other people's playlists too. How is that important for SEO?
If you think about playlists in general, start thinking about traditional television. You know, you can go to a channel and watch a channel. Thinking about things like Netflix and the newer modern style web-based television programs, you can start playing things by genres, comedy, what have you. I think YouTube's transforming greatly right now, and I think they're going to be this way bigger thing in the next few years. But playlists essentially are a way for people to find things they're interested in. If you create a playlist, some of the suggestions I have is don't just be all about your videos. Create a playlist on your particular genre and bring in even your competitors, the top 10 or top 20 videos of that particular thing. So if I was making a playlist on video XML sitemaps, I would actually find 5 or 6 of my competitors and put it in my playlist. That way, for one, I'm associated with the guru competitors, and two, people can honestly get the best value of that information. And essentially what a playlist is, if you really think about it, it's just a way for you to watch a video and keep on watching videos. They don't stop.
Right, right.
So if you think about it from a user perspective, someone watching videos and someone just learning, it's just a continuous way to watch things you're interested in.
Right.
From an SEO online perspective, it's obviously very important to be associated with videos you want to be associated with.
Okay, well that's a great tip. So I think we've talked a lot about some general tricks that you always apply. What are some more tricks that maybe not a lot of people know about that you have discovered?
If you set monetization to a video, meaning you will allow ads to be on at least one of your videos, there's actually a new thing in settings to where you can attach your website, your physical website, to your YouTube channel. Oh. So Google will actually know this website is attached to this YouTube channel. Now, I don't think we fully understand what that means, but my guess is if Google knows that I get 1 million views a year on my website for my YouTube channel, then that's probably a really good thing for them to know. Who knows? We really don't know, you know, the impact of that, but I'm guessing it's going to be quite dramatic.
So where exactly can you find? Is it in the monetization page?
When you log into YouTube, you can go under settings and it'll be in the left-hand corner.
Okay, and then you just put your website there? Okay, wow, I didn't know about that.
Another really great tip that almost no one knows about is custom thumbnails. Everyone is going to be able to make custom thumbnails soon. So the things you need to think about are what is a custom thumbnail for? Is it to get people to click on your videos? You know, what's the point? We did an article recently on realseo.com and we kind of showed having a brand, the colors, the logo, and an action shot within a custom thumbnail, and it has absolutely exploded our views. Big YouTube stars have been making custom thumbnails for a long time. Really bright, ugly colors, just want to make you burn your eyes out.
Yeah, they just stand out.
Yeah,
right?
And they're just so disgusting, you have to click on them. But we've kind of rethought how a business should use a custom thumbnail, and we've actually got some phenomenal success. We add our business colors and our business logo along with a really captivating action shot, and it's just unbelievable how many people click on it. We actually have instances where we get clicked on more than the first or second result.
Wow.
If we're third, fourth, or fifth, we sometimes actually get clicked more. And the reason for it is you don't know whose videos are whose, but if you had custom thumbnails that were all the exact same look, then it immediately on the related videos, it actually starts having similarities. So you say, okay, this company has 7 videos on this one related item.
Right.
So then you watch one of their videos and you're like, hey, I'm gonna watch another one. So you immediately show up all over the place. You just pop out of YouTube, and it's amazing.
So would you recommend to have maybe a template in Photoshop with a similar, I don't know, similar colors or bars, or the font would be very similar, and just change the background and the text or something like that?
Absolutely, that's what I do. I have a template in Photoshop, and if you can go to youtube.com/waspbarcode to check out what I'm talking about here, and all of our videos have a right-hand side yellow bar with our logo, and it's that consistency is what makes us pop.
Right, right, and it would also make it easier to create all those different thumbnails.
Absolutely.
Because you're working with the same template, so.
Absolutely. It's not really that big today, but in the future, having smart code, I guess is one of the ways to put it, is very important. Schema.org video object is probably going to become a big thing. So you really need to look into this and start implementing this on your website.
What is it? I've never heard of this. I can't even pronounce it. So what are we talking about here?
Essentially what it is, if you go to Google today and you type in New York Museum, you're actually going to see a museum on the right-hand side with their hours and how much it cost, associated museums near that museum, phone numbers.
Yeah.
So that type of data is really important to all search engines right now. They're trying to make search so smart that you don't even have to go to a web page.
Oh, that's what this is.
It really is part of that. I mean, more than anything, it's just smart data, if you will. It's knowing where things go. And the more online video TV services come out like Netflix and Hulu, I just think having this standard set of data fields is going to allow your videos to just automatically populate in a whole lot more things than you would ever imagine.
Oh, I see what you mean. So they would pop up and automatically pop up in certain searches. You would find those videos.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a great thing to keep an eye on. So you think that would be more prominent in the future?
Absolutely.
And I think the last thing I would like to talk about are subtitles. That's something that we've been doing for a while. Do you think that's actually doing subtitles for your videos? Does it help?
I really do think that you need to create subtitles or captions. And the main reason, honestly, is people with disabilities. I mean, they need to be able to have access to your content as well. And looking at that, obviously having all of the text, the data, having access to it, you can do all kinds of great things on your articles so that from an SEO perspective, all of that content will show up on your site.
Right.
So there's all kinds of benefits. More than anything, I just think it's the right thing to do. And it's very inexpensive to get it done now.
Yeah, there's several websites out there who can automatically do it for you too.
Absolutely.
Just a little unfortunate that there's no Dutch website who does it yet. But if you make English videos, then it's pretty simple. Yeah,
absolutely.
And not very costly. Great. Well, is there any other tips or tricks that you think would be good for people to know?
I think one thing to really consider is it doesn't matter if you're making articles or blogs, videos, images. It's all kind of the same philosophy in marketing, and that is content marketing. Making sure that you have a good distribution system to get all of your content out. Have people in your genres, whether it's bloggers or editors and newspapers and online magazines, making sure you become the perceived thought leader in whatever you're doing, whether that's photography or a video, it doesn't really matter. You're basically a small publishing company at this point. And It doesn't matter the media, just make sure you have a distribution system and make sure that you're not waiting for people to come to your site and look at your videos. That's not the point. And finally, one other big tip, I think the probably biggest tip I can give anyone right now is to use YouTube advertising. If you have 100 views, you probably need to get that to a couple of thousand before anything really starts happening. So spend a few $100 on YouTube videos and try to get people to like, comment, and share your videos. That is going to then kind of make a snowball effect where it'll start going a little more viral. The more people that share, like, and comment on your video, the more likely your video is going to show up higher in search results. The higher your search results obviously show up, the more people are going to see it and find it. So it is a really nice primer, and I definitely recommend, especially if you don't have a huge channel with millions of views, make sure that you use advertising. It's a very easy way to get started.
And the way it works is you basically pay per view, right?
Per view.
Yeah. Okay. Well, great. Thank you, Jeremy. Okay. If people have questions about video SEO or video marketing in general, where can people find you? We already talked a little bit about WASP and the YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
But go ahead.
People can find me at videomarketingguild.com. I have a contact form there so you can check me out.
Great. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.